Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you tonight for a premiere video tonight, and this is actually going to premiere at midnight officially for the Wednesday versus video for season 2 episode 14 that I'm doing for you guys tonight. And I hope you enjoyed last week's uh, Wednesday versus video because I did the best I could to make it as good as possible. Sorry, I just tapped my pen on the table or whatever, so please forgive me on that. So yeah, I'm doing band versus band again this time. This is actually going to be for the bands Fall Out Boy versus Dance Gavin Dance that I'm going to be doing for this Wednesday versus video season 2 episode 14 video. So I'm going to discuss what I'm going to be talking about in this Wednesday versus video season 2 episode 14 video and let you know my thoughts on it. So let's dive into this Wednesday versus video season 2 episode 14 for Fall Out Boy versus Dance Gavin Dance. Now I'm going to start talking about Fall Out Boy first because I got a lot to talk about with this band. And as of now, listening to Fall Out Boy in 2022, I'm not that impressed with their music. I think it's okay, but it's not great in any way. I think Mania was their slippery slope where they went downhill with their music, in my personal opinion, and it just did not do so good, that album. It was such horseshit, and just a piece of garbage album, honestly. And along with American Beauty, American Psycho, that album was, yeah, it was something, not something good. Uma Thurman being the worst song on there, and some other tracks on there that I'm not a big fan of. Like Centuries, it's not a bad song, but it gets repetitive for that song in particular. And basically, um, yeah, I tried getting more invested in Fall Out Boy. The only good album I will praise is Save Rock and Roll, but other than that, the rest of their discography is nothing memorable. There's been some solid songs from them, but other than that, they're an okay band. They're not a great band in any way, so I have my critiques on them. For sure, quite a bit of critiques. Um, they've made a few albums that are just cringy some of the time. So basically, I think Save Rock and Roll was their last best album. And give me a second, guys, I gotta pause the video. Sorry, guys, my mom was calling me. She needed something from me for a moment. Basically, Fall Out Boy has not really impressed me with their music as of lately. And there have been some solid songs from them. Like, the only good release from them was Lake Effect Kid. It's sad to say that they haven't made another album, which I hope they're doing okay. Because I think with what happened with Mania, I think they took it to heart with the criticism of hatred towards that album. Which, it wasn't a good album, honestly. So, yeah. Now to talk about Dance Gavin Dance. Like I said, only heard one album from Dance Gavin Dance, which is Jackpot Juicer. I want to check out their other discography, which I hear is pretty good, for sure. And I'm actually liking this band, for sure, more than Fall Out Boy, and that's saying something. One good album can It just depends on the songs, of course. Not every song on here on Jackpot Juicer is great. Feels Bad Man was a pretty solid song. It's grown on me a lot more as time goes on. Die Another Day being pretty good. Pray to God for Your Mother was a pretty good song. And the final track, uh, Have a Good Life, I think is Have a Great Life, I believe is what it's called, uh, was a good closing track to the Jackpot Juicer album. And there were some other ones like For the Jeers and many other tracks on this album, Cream of the Crop, and certain other tracks, like I can't remember. Holy Ghost Spirit was pretty good of a track for sure. And yeah, Pop Off was pretty good. And yeah, that's all I can think of right now. But basically, I did enjoy this Jackpot Juicer album by Dance Gavin Dance. It's a pretty good album for sure. So basically, if I were to choose a winner right now, which I will get to that in a moment, I've heard majority of Fall Out Boy's albums, from the Save Rock and Roll album all the way to, well, I've heard some of their older songs like Thanks for the Memories, which is not a bad song, and Dance Dance was on the fence with me. It's not the best song, but it's something entertaining somewhat. But they've had other ones. Sugar We're Going Down, I think, is another one that they've had, and quite a bit of others. Like My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark was the best song on the Save Rock and Roll album, in my personal opinion. But other than that, if I were to choose a winner, and I know I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this, Dance Gavin Dance is going to be the winner, in my opinion. And I know I've only heard one album from them, but that album made a whole difference than what Fall Out Boy's other albums have sounded like. And they haven't sounded good in any way. From what I've listened to with their newer stuff, it's just been cringe and on the fence with me. Like Champion was just okay, but nothing great. Last of the Real Ones, lyrically not the best, but the song is pretty catchy for what it went for. Uh, but I just think Dance Gavin Dance has a variety of music that I want to explore into and get invested into for sure. And I just chose them as the winner because I personally like Jackpot Juicer. It's grown on me a lot more as as time goes on. So yeah, Dance Gavin Dance is going to be the winner for this season 2 episode 14 video for Wednesday versus video. So comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of the Wednesday versus video season 2 episode 14 if you enjoyed it for Fall Out Boy versus Dance Gavin Dance. Like I said, Dance Gavin Dance is going to be the winner. In this case, I just personally like their music more, and I've liked what I've listened to with their music more than Fall Out Boy in my opinion. But hey, that's just me. So, if you did enjoy this Wednesday versus video season 2 episode 14 for Fall Out Boy versus Dance Gavin Dance, comment below and let me know your thoughts on it. Tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can. Support the channel. Next week's Wednesday versus video will be a good one for sure, and you'll like it. It's between two bands as well, and it only gets better after that. So you'll be interested to hear what I got to say on next week's episode. So I plan on reviewing some Silverstein albums sometime in like February or so. It might be February or March of next year. That's something I want to review. And Dance Gavin Dance, I'm gonna plan on reviewing it next year. Their discography, their whole albums, and all that for each Marathon Studio album review that I'm gonna do for their discography. But basically, I hope you enjoyed this Wednesday versus video season 2 episode 14. I just personally think Dance Gavin Dance has more variety and more to their sound than Fall Out Boy does with their new stuff. Fall Out Boy is just, I think the only good things about Fall Out Boy was the Lake Effect Kid and uh, what is it? Save Rock and Roll. Those were the only two releases I could say were good. But it's just personally for me, Dance Gavin Dance has more variety and more structure with their sound. And I really like Tillian's vocals and the whole band as a whole. So sorry, Fall Out Boy, you just haven't impressed me lately with your new stuff, in my opinion. So, with that being said, I'm gonna close with this outro. So, stay safe, guys. Take care. I hope you enjoyed this Wednesday versus video season 2 episode 14. This is premiering at midnight, and as always, I will see you in my next review.